Today we're introducing our Box Jaw Tongs, and what makes a pair of Box Jaw Tongs are the sides on either side of a flat jaw tong. They form part of a box, and what that does is gives you a better grip on the material that you're using. It eliminates, if you're just using flat jaws, you have the possibility of getting this sloppiness, especially if your flat jaws don't fit correctly. With box jaw tongs with the sides on it like that, you get a really good purchase on your material. First thing we need to do is twist our jaws, so let's just go over to the vise and get that set up. You want to get your vise set up so that it's fairly close to the sides that you're twisting, so that when you bring your hot iron over here, you don't have to spin this handle 3 or 4 times to get it tight. So get that set up. While that's clamped in there, have your twisting wrench and make sure that's adjusted close to the right size also. We're going to start with our flat jaw tong blank by putting it in the vise and lining the slot straight up and lining the slot up with the edge of the vise, and have the slot in line or just a little beyond the edge of the vise. And then we're going to grab it with our twisting wrench, and our twisting wrench can be lined up with the edge of the slot or just have a little bit of the jaw showing, and then we're going to twist it counterclockwise 90 degrees as I'm looking facing the jaw, looking down the tong rein. Now we're going to take our box jaw blank, put it in the vise the same way. The slot is lined up with the edge of the vise or just a little bit beyond the edge of the vise. Grab it with our twisting wrench and twist it a quarter turn counterclockwise as I'm facing the jaw looking down the reins. We've got our blanks twisted now. The next step is to forge out the sides of the box. We need to thin this material out so that it looks more like this one. And again, we're going to set this one up for 3/8 by 1 bar stock. And how we're going to do that, we're going to use our cross peen hammer. We're working on both sides of the anvil. We're going to be hitting up here like this and hanging over here like this to draw this material out. Okay, when you bring your heated blank out of the forge, make sure you hold it on the anvil with the inside of your jaw facing down. You don't want to turn it like this, it's got to be like this. So now we can work on that far side. Okay, now we're going to take another heat and just smooth this out. One thing you want to keep in mind is you want to use your left hand to push down on this tong blank to hold it in position so that this edge stays fairly lined up with the far side of the anvil, and your hammer is going to come down at a little bit of an angle so you can smooth that out. Okay, we've got our box jaw half forged out. You can see we've got it nice and thin. We'll get ready for bending that. But now we're going to forge the flat jaw part. You can see the blank is 3/8 thick. This is plenty heavy. You can leave it like that if you want to. But on my flat jaws, I like to thin them out a little bit. So I'm going to draw this out, make it a lot thinner in here. It makes it a little bit easier for working in a coal forge. So we'll draw this out a little bit thinner, and then we'll end up cutting some of that jaw off with a hot chisel. So let's forge this piece out. There, we've got our jaw forged out a lot thinner now. I'm not worried about this end right here because we're going to be cutting some of this off when we put the tongs, before we put the tongs together. Now we're going to bend the box jaw now. We're going to start with this bend right here. And to accomplish that, we're going to put our blank in the vise. I know that this part is 1 inch wide, so I'm going to line that up with the top part of the jaw. Get it fairly close. We'll clamp her down tight, and then I'll take my hammer and pound that over to form this 90-degree bend. We've got our first side bent. Now we need to bend the other side. Now if you've got the right size vise and you're lucky enough, you can slide your jaw blank right in there and bend it over. In our case, we don't have that, so what we're going to need to do is open our jaws up a little bit. I'm going to use a piece of 1 inch square stock that I can grab like this, and now I can tighten this down. And now I can bend this piece over. I'm using the 1 inch square stock because it gives me a little bit of clearance with the jaw here and allows me to grab it. You can use whatever thickness you have on hand as long as it's the right width and just thick enough. There, we've got our jaw bent up now. We'll just take it and clean it up a little bit with a sander or a file. And we're ready to drill or hot punch the holes and assemble. Okay, we've got our jaws cleaned up. We've drilled the hole to hold them together. You can either drill these or hot punch these. And I've got the reins drawn out and cleaned up. So you can see that our flat jaw is a little bit long, We're going to cut that off. You can use either a zip wheel or a hacksaw. We're going to use a hot chisel and cut that off. So let's get that done. Okay, we've got our tongs riveted together. Now we just need to adjust them to fit our material, so let's go over to the vise and do that. I just like to bring them in here and I can squeeze them lightly. And then I can open up the reins just a little bit so it feels comfortable in my hand. And I look down them this way so I can see everything is in line that way. And then I can turn them 90 degrees, squeeze it that way, and see that everything is in line this way. It feels good on my hand. So there we've got our box jaw tongs. Thanks for watching this tutorial on box jaw tongs. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. See you next time.